Slide 1. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining my presentation. Today I will be sharing my proposed qualitative research study titled Understanding Academic Stress and Cognitive Functioning in Undergraduate Students. This presentation will walk through the background of the problem, my research question, relevant literature, the research design, ethical considerations, and the overall importance of this study. Before we begin, I want to note that this study is grounded in the broader goal of understanding how students personally interpret their academic experiences, which sets the stage for the research question I will introduce shortly. Slide 2. Academic stress is something almost every college student experiences, but the way each student interprets and describes that stress can be very different. As someone preparing for a career in counseling psychology, I'm especially interested in how students make sense of their stress and how they believe it affects their thinking. Understanding these personal experiences can help counselors and educators provide better support. Research by Misra and Castillo in 2004 demonstrated that both American and international students experience significant academic stress, which shows that this issue affects a wide range of students. To guide this exploration, I will be presenting a research question that focuses on how students describe these experiences and how they believe stress influences their cognitive functioning. Slide 3. College students face many pressures, including heavy coursework, time management challenges, financial concerns, and expectations from family and instructors. These pressures can lead to academic stress, which affects both emotional well-being and cognitive functioning. When stress becomes overwhelming, students may struggle with concentration, memory, and decision-making. USOF's 2011 study on medical students demonstrated that academic pressures can influence mental health outcomes, which shows the seriousness of this issue. These difficulties can impact academic performance and confidence. This background emphasizes why a qualitative exploration of students' lived experience is both timely and necessary. Slide 4. The research question guiding the study is, how do undergraduate students describe their experiences of academic stress, and how do they believe this stress affects their ability to think clearly? This question focuses on personal meaning and lived experience, which makes it well suited for a qualitative approach. Slide 5. This topic matters because academic stress does not just affect emotions. It also affects cognitive skills like attention, memory, and decision-making. These skills are essential for learning and academic stress. When stress interferes with thinking, students may fall behind, feel overwhelmed, or lose confidence. For counselors and educators, understanding how students interpret these experiences is crucial for designing effective support systems. By centering students' voices, this study can contribute to more empathetic and evidence-informed support strategies. Slide 6. The first study that supports this research is by Larcombe and colleagues. They examined psychological distress among university students and found high levels of stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Their open-ended responses reveal that students often feel overwhelmed by academic demands and struggle to concentrate. This study discusses the value of listening to students' personal descriptions of stress, which supports the need for a qualitative approach in my research. It also demonstrates how cognitive difficulties often appear alongside emotional strain, which reinforces the relevance of my research question. Slide 7. The second study is by Malloy-Spink et al. They examined how different forms of stress affect college students' mental health and found that both short-term and long-term stress are linked to emotional difficulties. Students who reported higher stress levels also reported more problems with daily functioning. This study shows that stress has measurable effects on students' well-being and supports the idea that stress may also influence cognitive functioning. Together, these two studies complement each other by showing both the emotional and functional consequences of stress, which strengthens the rationale for exploring students' subjective interpretations in depth. Together, these studies complement each other by showing both the emotional and functional consequences of stress, which strengthens the rationale for exploring students' subjective interpretations in depth. Slide 8. This study will use a qualitative phenomenological design. Phenomenology focuses on understanding how individuals experience a particular phenomenon, in this case, academic stress. This approach aligns with the constructivist worldview described by Creswell and Creswell, which emphasizes that people create their own meaning based on their experiences. Tavicle and Sanders in 2025 explained that phenomenology is especially useful when researchers aim to understand how people interpret complex emotional or cognitive experiences. Because students interpret stress differently, Phenomenology allows me to explore those unique interpretations in detail. This design is the most appropriate choice because it prioritizes depth, nuance, and the personal meaning making processes that are central to my research question. Slide 9. Data will be collected through semi-structured interviews with undergraduate students. This method provides enough structure to guide the conversation while still allowing participants to share unexpected insights. Interviews will focus on how students define academic stress, what situations trigger it, and how they believe it affects their thinking. After collecting the data, I will use thematic analysis to identify patterns and themes across participants' experiences. This method is appropriate for capturing the depth and complexity of students' interpretations. Slide 10. Because this study involves human participants, several ethical issues must be addressed. Informed consent will be obtained from all participants, and they will be told they could withdraw at any time. Confidentiality will be protected by removing identifying information and using pseudonyms. Emotional sensitivity is important because discussing stress may be uncomfortable. Participants will be reminded that they may skip any question, and mental health resources will be provided if needed. Voluntary participation ensures that students are not pressured or influenced. Voluntary participation ensures that students are not pressured or influenced to take part. By proactively addressing these concerns, the study maintains respect for the participants' autonomy and emotional safety. Slide 11. Overall, academic stress is a significant issue that affects students emotionally and cognitively. A qualitative phenomenological study will allow me to explore how students describe their stress and how they believe it affects their thinking. This research is important because it could help counselors, educators, and universities better understand students' needs and develop more effective support strategies. By listening directly to students' experiences, we can create interventions that are more empathetic, more personalized, and more effective. Thank you.